have our pipettes. Okay. All right, so your specimens may need to be spun. So, Libby, I'm going to steal one of your specimens.
How much time?
I'm just going to spin it for 50 seconds. Typically, specimens need to be spun for at least 2 in order to separate the plasma and the cells, but these have sat for a while, so I think 50 should be plenty. If not, we can always spin it again.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so what we're going to do today, very much the same as we did last week. We're going to make 1 tube. Wait to find out what my patient's name is. I'm going to label 1 tube A, 1 tube D, 1 tube D, B, D, 1 tube AC, and 1 tube BC. Okay, so that's for A cells and B cells.
Okay.
A, B, D, A, and C.
That's for each one of the samples we use.
Right, each one of the samples you're going to do this. Okay. Will you hand me that? Don't put that over there. Over here. I need to start making a mess. Okay. And today's theme is race car drivers. Everybody gets really excited about that. Okay. Well, this one probably could spin a little bit longer. It might be a little hemolyzed.
So you said normally you spin it for 2 minutes?
Normally you spin it for about 2 minutes. It didn't start. It didn't get stopped it.
I got you, Cece. I got you.
I'm the videotaper. She's the recorder.
Oh.
And then we're going to figure out how to upload this on Canvas so everybody can see
Way
it.
too organized. And remind me not to look at it. 'cause I
And
have to watch it.
everyone, like, I have your disclosure that you're on video. I'm just letting you know.
You didn't ask me.
Well, I asked you last time. Remember, I asked her if you like cameras?
I didn't sign anything.
It's too late. I already uploaded the video from
Well,
class.
It's funny. This friend of mine who used to work at Lifestyle called me. I guess it was Friday. No, I called her on Friday to tell her something, and she goes, "Oh, I was just thinking about you today." She goes, "I've got a bunch of high school kids coming in, and I needed to tell them about ABO, so I googled ABO, and guess whose video?"
Yeah, I seen it. I saw it. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. I just uploaded your RH video too, so
Oh,
just
okay.
to let you know, it's
Probably
going to be
very
on
much the same
YouTube.
as what I said today.
Yeah.
It doesn't change a whole lot. Alright, let's see. So it's just a little bit more orange. Not horrible. Alright, so my patient is Alexander Rossi. And my number is 8318. Okay. So I'm going to put it here and write his last name on it. Here again, if you want to take the plasma off entirely, make another tube and put the last name on the patient as well. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the bulb. I'm going to go into the plasma, and I'm going to put 2 drops of my plasma in my AC and my BC tube. Put my plasma back, go down into my cells, and pull up a couple of drops. Okay. Then, now, let's see, little can is supposed to be for pipettes.
So you don't separate the plasma, you do it the other method?
I don't.
You can,
If you want
she
to,
just
you
doesn't.
can. I just don't. I'm not in the habit of doing it, and it's
Just makes
Oh.
more stuff to worry about.
right.
So I just do it that way
If
then?
you do it, it's fine. If you do it, it's fine.
Mhm.
Just be sure you put the plasma back. So if I need to give you a
Yeah.
specimen back for any particular reason,
Because if you
It's
have
not
to
lost.
do, if you have to do another test, you'll still have it.
right, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna fill my tube up about 2/3 of the way full.
The last name too.
Huh?
Drops of blood.
With 2 drops of blood. Okay. And I'm gonna put it in here. And I'm gonna go back to 50 seconds. So in the meantime, I'm going to take my anti-A. Get everybody? I'm going to put a drop of my anti-A in my A tube, a drop of my anti-B in my B tube, and my anti-D in my D tube. Now this goes back to put the clear stuff in first. So that's why I have my plasma in here, and now I have my clear reagent. So when I put the cells in, if the phone rings or somebody comes and asks me a question, or let's say the refrigerator starts to blow up or something happens that I get taken away from what I'm doing, I don't have to go back and say, "Ah, where was I?" Because 9 times out of 10, you won't remember. You'll be like, I think I put that in there, but I'm not sure. And then you have to throw it away and start all over again. But if you've done this, and you always consistently do this, then you'll know where you are and you don't have to, be too fretful about it. So here again, don't be too dainty, just dump. If you lose some cells, don't worry about it. You're going to shake it to resuspend it and put about an ml of saline in.
Okay.
Then when you go, that to me is a little thick, so I'll put a little more saline in until it looks the consistency of that. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, got it?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So then I'm going to take a drop of my cell suspension. I'm going to put a drop in my A tube, drop in my B tube, and a drop in my D tube. And I'm going to take my A1 cells, and I'm going to put a drop of them in my AC tube. And then I'm going to take my B cells, and I'm going to put a drop of them in my BC tube. So I'm all ready to roll. Now, this is one thing that if you don't already know how to do it, you will learn. I have 5 tubes here. Does everybody know how to balance 5 tubes? Is that a balance?
Yes.
You do. You want to do it? Come do it. You can do this. How do you balance it?
All right, Nick, you're on camera. Wait. Bring it down here so I can see you on camera.
Put it down here so she can. Okay, there's your 5 tubes. Are you going to do them with? Finish doing with those.
Do with those?
Yeah.
Okay, so. See, that's how you balance 5 tubes. No, one of them has to go here. Interesting. That kind of
It's like a puzzle.
almost seems like you could.
It's an uneven number,
It's an uneven number, so.
so it's not going to be, unless you get you a second, a 6th tube.
Oh, but we're not going to do that.
No,
because
that's a waste.
balance tubes are for weenies.
Yeah.
So unless you have 11 tubes or you have 1 tube, you should not need a balance tube. You should be able to balance
For
it.
weenies, guys.
Don't be a weenie.
Yes.
Don't use a balance tube.
Could this work?
I don't know. You want to put it in and try?
If it makes a lot of noise, you're on camera.
There's the
Close
little
as that.
line that goes this way.
It seems kind of close.
It's down all the way though. Take it down. No, it's not in there. Okay.
Oh, wow. What was that? Something.
Right, it's got the
You see
shape.
it from up there? Okay. All right. He's not 100% sure. Can you tell?
Yeah. Because he doesn't want
I
to
think
be.
this is. I think maybe like this. Let's see if it does. Because it's got a
Yeah.
even shape right
Okay,
here.
that looks like an even shape. Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll try it. All right, so let's just try 10, just for fun, see if it makes a nice loud noise for us.
No, actually.
You're pretty good. All right.
You know why? You just got. You
That
have to
was-
do a certain shape.
But the thing about it is you fiddled with it for a long time. So let me show you a way that you can do it without having to sit there
I
and
know it took me a
fiddle
little bit,
forever
but I was like,
trying to
okay.
do that, okay?
Yeah, because I would have just used the
'Cause-
weenie way out.
Yeah, well.
So far, not too bad then.
No, you did it. You did it. It just took you a while. Just let it pop it off.
Exactly.
They give me anxiety.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
that part.
so
Okay.
the easiest way to do it is everybody knows how to balance 3, right? Okay. Did anybody else have an, everybody else know how to balance
Since there's
it?
12 of them, that will go into 3, so it would
Mhm.
be kind of just like a triangle.
So everybody knows how to do 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you do 1, 2, 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, forget they're there. And then balance 2.
That's what I would have done.
Ah.
You know, I mean.
That's the quickest method. You
That,
can-
I mean, that way you don't even have to,
yeah,
you know, sit there and move them around
I
and
did the
say, oh, I don't know if this
I
is
did
going
the
to work.
pentagon, so the pentagon works too.
It works.
I was just about to do that and show y'all, but I just wanted to.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
You should be able to do 7, and 9's easy, right? So 5 and 7 are the ones that trick people up, but now you don't have a problem. Everybody can do that. Okay. I had one student that she came from Brevard Community College one time, and when I showed her how to do that, she's like, oh, I have to go show everybody. So she went back, and they used to go to class on Wednesdays. And I should tell you that. But anyway, she
Video.
and she came back and she goes, everybody was so impressed I could balance 5 too. Showed everybody.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you they didn't teach us that in any of our other classes.
Oh, okay, well, I taught you. I'm so glad.
So,
Okay, so I'm
me
going to
too.
take my A tube and I'm going to give it a little shake and I'm going to rock it back and forth. Can you get that in there?
Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in. That's beautiful.
Isn't that a beautiful 4+ reaction?
Yes.
All right. Over here, I'm going to write 4+. Then I'm going to take my B tube and I'm going to give it a little shake and rock it back and forth. And it's going to be pesky because sometimes the negative ones are. So it's race to spin it off the bottom and everything swirled off and it was completely homogeneous in the solution, right? Did you see that difference? Okay, so that is a negative. So I'm going to put a 0. All right, now I'm going to take my A cells. And here again, I'm a cell button down kind of person. So if you want to try it with cell button up, try it. See if you like cell button up better because there are people out there who do. Okay, so that one's a negative. So that's my reverse A. And then here's my reverse B, and I'll shake it, and it's about a 3+ because there's one pretty good size and then some other pretty good size. So I'm going to call that a 3+.
Okay.
Okay. And so here's my D. Uh-oh. That's negative.
Yeah, because it's all broken
Okay.
up.
So if you have a negative D, you need to do your weak D. So we're going to take this tube, we're going to take another tube, and we're going to make it our C tube for control. Then we're going to take a drop of our control, and all it is about 6% albumin. Sometimes it's 7 depending on the manufacturer, and we're going to put a drop of that. So it's just albumin, it's in earth, there's no antibody in there. And so what we're doing is we're validating any reaction we get in this tube. Okay. So I'm going to put a drop of that,
This
In
the
here.
plasma?
the 3 to 5% cell suspension,
Okay, the suspension. Okay.
the one we just washed.
Okay.
So I have my D tube and I have my C tube. Okay. Then I've got my heat block, and I'm going to go over here to my heat block, and I'm going to put them in, and then we have timers. Okay, so on the timers, you have channel 1, 2, and 3. Oh, and these aren't set for anything. All right, so let's clear this one. We just push it until it flashes, and then hit clear. Do you know how to do these, Martha? Okay, so on this one, like number 3, you push it until it flashes. Tell me when it flashes. Is it flashing?
2 is flashing.
Okay, I don't know why 2 is flashing, but then you hit clear. Oh, okay. All right, stop. All right, now I'm going to try to do this. So 3 is flashing?
Yes.
Okay, so then you hit, there's a third button down is clear, and it'll clear it to 0. Once number 1 is set for 10, so all you have to do is push that till it flashes. Oh, you stop. This pushing it and then trying to do the demo is not working so good. Okay, that again. Okay, so it's flashing now, so then you can go up.
To
To 15, okay? It can go longer than 15. Don't go like 2 or 3 hours because it may evaporate, but it can go, 15 is gonna be your minimum. So you're gonna put it at 37 degrees for 15 minutes. Okay? And so beep off, and then you push the channel number, and then you guys can set all the channels for 15. You can use your phone, you can watch, don't watch that clock. But
We
you
set it
can,
for a
you can
while.
watch a clock. All right, so I'm gonna do the Julia Child method here because you don't wanna sit here and watch me and listen to me yak for 15 minutes. So I have already put these in, okay? So this is my Julia Child method.
okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to spin these down
For 50 seconds.
for 20.
20 seconds.
We're gonna wash for 50 and everything else is gonna be 20.
20. Okay.
And here again, if you do more than one patient, you might want to use a different color, put their patient's name, put the medical record number, some indication of who is who, because if I use a red Sharpie on every single one of my patients, and I've got 2 of them that are incubating, I'm not going to know which one is which. So if I have one that ends up being positive, I won't be good. All right, so now I'm going to shake them down. I'll do one at a time. All right. Now, when we were using human source anti-D, a lot of times you might get a reaction after the 15-minute incubation. With the polyclonal or the monoclonal blends, most of the time that doesn't happen. I've had, a couple of them happen occasionally, but for the most part, they're going to be negative at this point.
And that was the D tube.
This is the D, this is the control. Okay, your control, there's nothing in it, so your control you expect to be negative. If it's not negative, you've got a problem, okay? So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna do your favorite washing, and you're going to fill your tube up about 2/3 of the way.
So they were both negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is what you want
Which
if
is
you
what
had a
you would
negative. Okay.
As long as, it can be positive or negative, whichever, for the D tube. As long as the control is negative, you're good.
Okay.
If the control
now,
is
if,
positive,
if
that's
the
what it blows
if
it
the
out.
D tube originally was positive, we wouldn't
would
be
never
going
even
through
do
all
this
this.
step.
Exactly.
You would
Okay.
just put it down as positive
And keep it moving.
and go with it. This is only if they're negative.
Would you
Okay.
write NA or anything in the box?
No.
Okay.
I know it bothers people that there's boxes you don't write reactions in, but no, they're only there in case you need them.
Okay.
What did you say in the control tube? I'm sorry.
Oh, you only need to do this step if the D is negative, okay? So if the D is positive, you don't have to incubate it. You just call it positive, do your interpretation, move on to your next patient. The control should always be negative because there's nothing in it to react. If it's not negative, then
Nick,
you've got a problem to go
What are we
back.
doing?
He's spinning his samples.
In my incubator or centrifuge?
You can get yours out from underneath the counter.
Yeah. Oh, there.
I just like messing with Nick. He's so sweet. You know I'm just messing with you, right, man?
All right. So what you're going to do, here again, you see you only have a drop this time, right? Because that's my one drop we put in
Can I
there.
get a close up real quick?
Why, certainly.
Wait, where are you? I can't find you. Okay, there you are. Okay, I got you.
Okay,
narrating.
so what you're going to do is you're going to do this 3 to 4 times, okay? Don't be tentative, because if you lose your cells, you got to start all over again. So dump it out. There'll be a little bit of fluid left in the tube. You want to get that?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of fluid left in the tube.
Okay.
All right, so what you want to do is in between each wash, you want to shake it so it's resuspended. Oops, I need to do both of them. Why I was only doing one.
And you did say do this about 3 times.
3 or 4 times.
3 to 4.
If you feel really good, go with 3. If you feel, like you're insecure about it, go with 4.
Okay.
There's nothing that says that you can't do more than 1 at a time. You could do, if you had more than one patient who needed a weekday, you could do both of them
At the same time.
at the same time.
As long as
you
it's
knew which one
balanced.
was which.
Okay. All right.
Let me go get the check cells.
And how many patients are we working on today? 3 again?
50.
Yes.
We'll be here all day.
I know, right?
So when is this step? Washing 3 times?
Yeah, we're gonna. If you get the negative result, you want to confirm that it's a weak.
We're putting 6% albumin. You have, some of them they have like gamma clone control or something it's called, but it's 6 or 7% albumin is what it is.
Yeah.
In this particular rack, it's this one, but I think other people have actual reagent models.
It was a drop of that and a drop of the cells, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is only if you get a negative result. Will you go through all these steps
When you go through the D.
for the D?
I mean, because we can pretty much tell you what the ABO is on this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody knows what the ABO is on this, right?
Yes.
So all we need to know is
Is it negative or positive?
it negative or positive?
Why are we washing 3 times?
Mhm.
Why are we washing?
So you want to remove everything that's not attached to it. Because if you don't remove everything that's not attached to it,
You might
then
get
this antibody is nonspecific. It will go and attach to anything that's in the fluid, and then when you go to test it, you can have false negative.
So.
And typically, where people fall down on this step is this one where you're resuspending, and the last one where you are blotting it dry, because you don't want too much fluid in there, because then the cells can't find the antibody. So you want to make sure that you blot it nice and dry.
And this is the 3rd try.
The third. Mhm.
I'm just.
Oh, you're doing it for your your own narration.
You can put closed captioning on it.
Somebody can do it in various languages, and then we can.
Oh yeah, that part I can't do.
We'll translate.
Oh goodness, I don't even know if there'll be a translation if I tried.
Yes.
There's always a translation.
I don't know.
It's just sometimes they're really funny.
I do speak baby talk. That's about it.
We had
Does anyone else know another language in here? I'm sorry. Yeah, no. You do?
Oh, somebody
Oh,
does.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, actually. I think it's awesome, but I just don't. I can say maybe 3 words in 2 different languages. Hi, bye, and hi.
Where's the bathroom?
Okay. You're messing up my video.
I'm sorry. I have to giggle.
I know, I love it.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and do it 4 times just for fun.
And there's still some cells in there.
You should have a cell button. Like I said, if you tentatively pour it, you're going to lose your cells.
Okay. So
And if
just-
you lose your cells, then you got to go back and start from the beginning. Start at the beginning. It's a very good place to start.
So now what would make you say, okay, I'm good at just washing this 3 times as opposed to washing?
Just depends on, Clint Eastwood. Do you feel lucky?
Wow.
I would say with you guys, do it 4 times.
4 times, yeah.
Then after you've done it a few times and you've been successful, then cut it back to 3. And if you continue to be successful, then 3 should be sufficient. And if for 3 you're kind of like going, then I would go back to 4 again. Sometimes I lose count. Sometimes I think, I really didn't resuspend that cell button very well. Sometimes I forget to resuspend the cell button, and so that I put the saline on. I definitely don't want to count that one because
So,
that was a
are
dud.
they attempting to develop any type of a test that would cut all this part of it down some?
There are some methodologies that you don't have to do this, but this is the basic. This is like, how we were talking about foundation, this morning.
Okay.
This is the foundation for how all the other tests work. So doing this is not like it's archaic and nobody does this anymore.
Okay.
But there are other ways to do it now.
Okay.
This one has the antibody to NTD.
This one? No, this is anti-human globulin. It's antibodies to antibodies.
Anti-hemoglobin. So why we are like putting these things?
Because if any antibody is attached to the cells, then that's going to attach to those antibodies, and we're going to be able to see it. Okay, this is totally non-specific. It's just looking for human antibodies. It doesn't care what they are. Okay. It doesn't know D from FYA from, PU. It's just, is there. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Then what you're gonna do is take a paper towel and blot your cells dry. Okay, so you don't have that little drop of fluid anymore that you resuspend your button in.
Okay.
And here again, if you do and you add your anti-human globulin, it's going to take a while for those antibodies to find those antigens. And so you could have a false negative. And so again, you're going to have to go back to the beginning. And start
And
all
what,
over
2
again.
drops of that?
And you're going to put 2 drops of this in. Shake it up to resuspend your cell button. Okay. I'm sorry, let me put this here. I'm not used to being on camera.
You're doing so good.
All right.
And that was to each two.
To the control and the D.
And so initially, what are we looking for as a positive negative result?
The same kind of thing. It probably won't be as strong as we're used to in the ABO if you have to do this weak D test. But what happens is there are reasons why you don't get as strong a result. You'll find when you do these that you'll have patients that, the anti-D reacts as strong as the ABO does. So you get 3-4 plus reaction. But some of them don't. And so because you have a situation where you have, just fewer binding sites, or you have that C in the transposition, or you have that mosaic, which is missing a giant chunk of the antigen itself, causes it to be weaker. And so it needs this extra step in order to find that it's positive.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's look at our D. And the majority, I'll tell you this so that, I don't want you to cheat or anything, but I'll tell you, majority of them are going to be negative. It's going to be probably another 15% or so that you will come up with a weak D. Here again, if your control is positive, you've got a problem, and you have to call it indeterminate. Okay, so I have 2 nice negatives. Okay.
Gotcha.
So then I'm going to take my cells that I have purposely coated, or actually Alba has purposely coated with antibody. I'm going to put a drop of them in.
Did you catch that?
No, what two were those going in?
The control and
Same.
D.
Same thing.
Yeah, the ones we just utilized.
So I just put
You're just making it
Just put my reactions down, so weak D and,
Both of them were still negative.
oh, wait a minute, I put it in the wrong thing. Weak D and controls. So, okay, here's my 2 lines in my initials, okay. So here's my weak D, here's my control, those were the negatives, and these are gonna be the check cells. Okay,
And then she added 1 drop of
these,
this.
That's stuff that we have to share.
that's the stuff we have to share. You guys pay attention, I'm so proud.
So they should be positive?
One drop?
1 drop to each tube.
Cells
C
are
and D.
usually always 1 drop. Typically, if you're dealing with a patient sample, you're going to put 2 drops of plasma. For most of the reagents, they're purified and concentrated, so you're going to put 1 drop of the reagents. For the anti-human globulin, I put 2. Okay. All right, so be real careful of this because now you've got 2 populations of cells in here. You've got your negative cells, and then you've got some that are positive on top of them. So that whole rule that, I've said resuspend your cell button until it's all up off the bottom is not really applicable to doing check cells because you just want it to be positive. So what you want to do is kind of shake and see how it's up off the bottom, but you still have some on the bottom. Those are your negative cells that you started off with. So as long as you've got positive, you're in good shape. Ideally, you would like to have a 2+. Some of these cells are a little bit weaker, so as long as you get a good 1+, I wouldn't worry about it because for some reason we got
And that's another confirmatory test, correct?
that confirms that if this person had been a weak D, I did all the steps correctly so that we would have been able to detect it. And if it was going to react, it would have reacted. Okay? And so then you can put your check cells. So we've got the 2+ for the check cells. And then my interpretation can be A negative.
Okay, and we would just put the word negative. We wouldn't put a dash because
Exactly.
dash could be mistaken for something else.
Right. So we're going to
Okay.
use zeros for negatives and your reactions. And then numbers with pluses here.
Okay.
And then write you don't have to write negative, but if you like negative better than neg, that's fine too.
Okay.
there's multiple ways to skin a cat.
All right,
Okay,
folks.
so I'm gonna